Week 18. If you are needing streaming options, you probably have a double week championship, or maybe your championship is in week 18 for some reason. Regardless, we're going to give you streaming options for week 18 matchups a week in advance. We're recording this in week 16, okay? Because we're going to be with our families during Christmas and whatnot, but we want to make sure and give you streaming options. So some of these numbers might change, but we still believe in all these streaming options.
That's right.
We're going to start the quarterback position. Number one quarterback is Taysom Hill, who plays the Falcons. They give up the second most points to quarterbacks. He's averaging over 20.5 points as the starter for the Saints, and he's averaging 70 rushing yards per game as their starter. Safe floor, massive ceiling versus a terrible Falcons defense. Taysom's a really good streaming option in week 18.
Yeah, I love it. Second streaming option for week 18 is Kirk Cousins. Bears give up the 7 most fantasy points to quarterbacks. He's QB 8 on the year. Once again, this is in the week 16, so these numbers could change. Look, he hasn't scored under 13 fantasy points this whole season. I think he can definitely do this against the Bears. This is a must-win game for Kirk Cousins and the Vikings if they want to make the playoffs. So pick up Kirk Cousins.
I like it. Big Ben is the last option. He plays the Ravens, who give up the 8th most points to quarterbacks. He's the quarterback 5 since week 11. That's crazy. Okay?
Yeah.
Look, this isn't sexy at all, but it's a favorable game script. I think the Ravens will be able to score points, which means Big Ben will need to throw the ball. If I was to rank these guys, it would be Taysom, Kirk, Ben. What about you?
Agreed.
Okay, give us some defenses that people could stream in week 18.
Yeah, number one defense is a Colts against the Texans who give the fourth most points to fantasy defenses. I mean, the Colts have been doing some great things. I mean, I'm excited to see these guys in the playoffs. You pick them up and you start them with confidence. Second defense is the Titans against the Panthers, 6 most points allowed to fantasy defenses. Cam Newton has been struggling. PJ Walker probably come in second half and throw some interceptions. And the Saints, once again, playing against the Atlanta Falcons who give the 5th most fantasy points to fantasy defenses. I mean, once again, you keep going back to this game, what they did to Tom Brady and the Bucs. That's crazy. It's good. They on a hot streak right defense. Now. Yeah, pick up the Saints.
All right, those are some options. If I was to rank these guys in order, for me, it would be Colts, Saints, Titans.
Agreed.
What about you?
Agreed.
Okay. We're going to give you a couple wide receivers. Again, we would probably prefer stars, but if you don't have stars and you need wide receivers that you can play and rely upon in week 18, these are some options. Number one is Darnell Mooney. Vikings give up the most points to wide receivers when we recorded this video. The only person that Fields really trusts is Darnell Mooney, and that's the only person I trust with Justin Fields. It seems like he's continually giving him a high amount of targets. He's a wide receiver 26 on the year. Vikings will be able to score, which means that probably the Bears are playing from behind, which is favorable for a guy like Darnell.
Yeah, Russell Gage is our second guy. Saints give the 7th most points to wide receivers. I know for you, Zach, Russell Gage has won you your first week in fantasy. Yeah. He's been doing absolutely great. He's wide receiver 16 from week 9 to 15. Yeah. Russell Gage, wide receiver 16. Clearly number one wide receiver on this team since Calvin Ridley has been gone, averaging 7 targets per game after week 9. I mean, he's a great wide receiver. If you can, you probably should be starting him.
Yeah, I like it. All right, Brandon Ayuk is the last option. I think we can both agree this is the most risky of the options. They play the Rams, who give up the 11th most points. They play them in week 18. And the assumption is that the Rams are going to be able to score points, which means that Jimmy G is going to have to throw the ball. Maybe Jalen locks down Debo. They realize, hey, Jalen, we need you on Debo the entire time, which means more opportunities can open up for Ayuk. It's risky, but Rams give up 11th most points, and there should be opportunities for Ayuk. Let's give people tight end options now. Badaki, who's the first tight end option in week 18?
Yeah, and that's Dalton Schultz. Eagles give up the most points to fantasy tight ends. Look, this is going to be a divisional game, a game that probably, if at least the Cowboys want to get their position in a good playoff position, they probably have to win, okay? But Dalton Schultz is currently tight end 6 on the year. Week 15 against the Giants. Look, something special. 8 for 8 targets, 67 yards and a touchdown. I mean, he's currently tight end 6. Like I said, obviously this could change because we're doing this earlier. But I love Dalton Schultz moving forward.
I like it. Zach Ertz is another good option. He was on last week's video. He's on this one again. He plays the Seahawks in week 18. We give up the 5th most points to the tight end position. Without D-Hop, Ertz has become a feature weapon in this option. In this offense, 11 targets in week 15. I expect that to continue this week in week 18.
Pat the Dragon once again on the list once as well. Ravens give the 6th most points to tight ends. We said it last time. Pat is tied or has 7 touchdowns on the year, tied I think 5th most touchdowns. I'm pretty sure that's going to change after this week. They're going to give him some touchdowns. Look, pick up Pat the Dragon. Great floor.
Yeah, I agree. Those are all of our streaming options for week 18. This is the end, people. So I hope that you've either won your championship by now or you're fighting for it. Good luck. Comment below if you have any questions.
Yo, what's good?
What
Thanks
up?
for watching. We got a lot more videos.
A lot more.
If you want more videos.
Watch
Now,
it.
You can also subscribe
Right now.
if you want to.
You need to.
And lastly, don't forget that you can sign up to support the show and get exclusive content by going to patreon.com/fantasylandfam.